Mm.
Okay, I'm back. All right, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is December 9th, 2024. I cannot believe it. It is December 9th already.
Debbie, we
And
can't see you.
yeah, I'm just
Well, there you
getting
go. Okay.
going. Okay,
Okay.
there I am. Okay, so it is December 9th, 2024, and we are going to be talking about how to do a vendor event and how to, once you have done it, to close them. And then once you have them as a customer or a potential customer, how to invite them to in-person classes. So hopefully the information we share with you tonight is going to be really, really helpful. And I will share all the tools that I'm sharing tonight with all of you, either an email or a text, but you'll get my little props I'll send to you. So I learned this a couple of years ago from another Young Living gal, and I use this technique for either my in-person classes or when I do vendor events. So it's a great, in my opinion, it's a great way to kind of introduce the oils to people and be super friendly. So first, when you're doing an vendor event, if you can actually get the table a little higher, it really is helpful. I bought those little things that go underneath, like bed risers.
Mm-hmm.
You can put underneath each leg and you can make the table higher. So it's a lot easier for people to like look at the stuff versus leaning down. And I typically love to stand. I feel like if I'm standing, I'm more welcoming. And I kind of, if you think about being like the welcome gal, so even though they're not at your table, if they're walking around, you want to be like super friendly. You want to wear that dancer smile, like the kids, girls are wearing when they're doing their cheers or their dance routines. You want to look like happy that you're there, right? Because you want people to see you, even if they're not at your table, you want them to be able to look at you and say, that person looks like she's good to talk to, like she's open, right? She's friendly. So you want to really make sure you look that part. You're not just sitting behind your desk waiting for somebody to come up and then you stand and then they get freaked out when you stand. So just stay standing. If people are asking where the bathroom is or where this is, you know, just answer all their questions and be super friendly because even if they're not at your table right away, they may be looking at you. So, and seeing whether or not they want to even approach. So if you come across super friendly, that's going to really, really help you. Um, let's see. And like I said, stand. Okay, so once somebody comes up to your table, the biggest thing is you want to start a conversation with them. Really, the first line I usually use is, are you familiar with essential oils or do you use essential oils? And based on their answer is where I go with that. So if they're not from most people will be like, well, yeah, I kind of know, like, I'm like, what oil? And they'll be like, lavender. Most people will say they know lavender. So it's like that's like a perfect intro to start talking about lavender. So the way the gal that taught me how to do this, she lays them out. And let me show you. I'm going to flip my down if you can see. So she starts with lavender and she kind of puts them like off center like this, right? So there is like zigzag. So she'll start with lavender. And here's my little card. And like I said, I'll share these little cards with you. She'll start with lavender, and I'm going to flip this back up. I don't know if this is going to be weird, but she'll take the bottle and she'll open it up as she's talking to them, and she'll hand them the bottle and say, "This is our lavender. We're 100% pure, and we're the largest lavender producer in the world." And she'll start going into some information. But when she hands this to them to smell, she smells the cap. Okay, so when you're smelling the cap, it's just human nature, like to follow suit. Oh, she's smelling the cap, I smell the bottle, kind of a thing. So you have them do that. And then you give them some information about the lavender. And I'm not going to go into detail about all the oils and the details of the oils. I mean, I think you all know a good amount, about at least all you need is like 1 or 2 lines about the product, right? So lavender is the Swiss Army knife of oils. We're the largest lavender producer in the world, right? When in doubt, use lavender. Great for your skin, for sleeping, right? So you can go through that. So that sits on my little lavender thing. And then she'll move to peppermint and she'll pick up the peppermint and she'll say, "Oh, this peppermint is great." And she'll hand it to them so that they sit and they smell it. And she'll go into talking about how you can, it'll be the the peppermint with the white label, how it's ingestible, making peppermint brownies, how it's good for if it's hot out or if your head is bothering you, and just like a few little things about peppermint. From peppermint, she'll move to lemon. And lemon, it really kind of opens up their minds. And she'll talk about how she can put it, you can talk about putting it in your water, and how you can ingest it. So again, it'll be the white label that's in the box, and how you can, use it and don't use it in plastic, use it in glass. And she goes through the lemon. Oh, I just got a frog in my throat. Um, then from there, she's saying with all the singles, she goes to frankincense. And she starts talking about frankincense, and she basically talks about, she mentions a lot of people say, "Oh, that's what they brought to baby Jesus." So she doesn't really go into the memories of people. Like some people are like kind of turned off with it or they have their own stories. So she just kind of lets them talk, have their stories about frankincense, but she does go into how it's very meditative. I always mention that if you go to pubmed.gov and you look up frankincense and cancer, that you'd be like blown away by what it can do. So I always suggest that they go check that out and do some research on their own. So in between on the table, so on the table, they're actually going to be all across, like straight across. I don't have the space on my desk. So she first covers all the singles, and then in the middle, we've got this little smell me sign. So it's like inviting people to come and smell the oils. And then we'll move on from the singles into the blends. So we'll talk about the citrus fresh. So citrus fresh is great for making a salad dressing with. And you guys should write this down if you haven't. But it's equal parts of lemon juice and olive oil, and then some honey, and then 6 to 8 drops of the citrus fresh, and then a little salt and pepper, and mix it all together. It's fabulous on a salad. I absolutely love it, especially like a summer salad, a kale salad. If you don't put the salt and pepper in, you can even use it on fruit. Put a little mango, if you do a little feta cheese, some almonds or some pine nuts. It's really, really, really good. This is another one because it's a citrus, it's very happy. It opens up their minds to like we want this to be fun for them, right? It's got to be a fun thing, not a whole serious thing. Then from there, we go to thieves. And this is where she gives them a little history lesson, right? She talks about, how thieves came along. And I'm sure you all know, right, the story of, the Black Plague. And she goes into that whole story about the thieves' oil, I should say. I go into the story. So this is what I do, right? So, and people, you won't necessarily get through every single oil with every person. And if somebody should like walk up, like while you're talking about this, you just kind of like hand the bottle off to the next person or suggest, oh, give it to, hand it over, let her smell it. So then you're engaging, no matter where you are in your little presentation, you're engaging the other people that are around and passing the bottle around for everybody to smell. And you're smelling the top. So everybody's going to be smelling, right? Right. So we're going to talk about thieves, and then we can go into, if the time permits and they're still with their attention, you can still, um, somebody's texting me. I don't know if it's to get on tonight. Um, was I saying? So you can go into the whole thieves line, right? You can talk about the cleaner we have, and depending on who you're talking to, um, you kind of have to feel them out. If you had a conversation with them at all,
Allie, can you mute yourself, or Debbie, can you mute her? I don't
I
know. I
can
feel
mute
like we're
myself.
getting a background noise. Thank you.
okay, beautiful. So, so then you can go into the thieves products if you feel like you still have their interest. And I always have a thieves cleaner spray there that I kind of grab and talk about if they're still interested in listening. So if we go through the thieves, then from the thieves, we go into Digize. So when I mention Digize, I hand it to them and I say, think of chocolate when you're smelling this. And as soon as you put that in their mind, it really does smell like chocolate. I
I'm
don't know
gonna
if you've
try.
got thieves on your hand, but smell it. It does. If you think chocolate, it smells like chocolate. So, and then you can take a drop of it on your hand and pop it in your mouth. And they get all like, whoa, what? You can ingest these? So you can go into a little piece about ingesting the oils. And this stuff, as you know, putting it on your belly is like, it's the bomb. Like if you have any digestive issues, I mean, this you can't leave home without it, really, right? So we go into, and you can make a tea with it. I heard people make cookies with it. So there's all kinds of things you can do with the Digize. From Digize, we go over to Panaway. And we talk about Panaway and how it's so good for muscles and your joints and even for any kind of head issue that you have. And again, we're handing it to them and saying, you know, this is Panaway. Take a smell, right? Oh, doesn't that smell? Think root beer with this one. Oh, it does. It smells like root beer, right? Because a lot of people, if you don't mention root beer, they'll go to like, oh, it smells like medicine kind of a thing.
Hmm.
So if you say, oh, it smells like root beer, it's like, smell it. It smells like root beer. So cool. So it's amazing power of suggestion, right? So we talk about this, and you can even say, do you have an issue, something going on? Let me put a little drop on for you and like rub it in. So, or like maybe put a little on the hand and they can put it on their back. So, while I'm thinking about it, I have just a separate kit that's my sample kit. So I do not bring my all my oils. This is not a full bottle of Panaway or frankincense or 11. They only have maybe 10 or 12 drops in each bottle. So they're not, if they're sitting in the sun, they're not going to get, ruined. If for some reason, if some, which has never ever happened to me, but if one should walk away, it's not that big of a deal. It's only a couple of drops. And this way, somebody's not going to go to town with your pan away and like, oh, a little here and a little there, and go through half your bottle while you're talking to somebody else. Um, so always have your little starter kit. And I have tons of bottles. If you're local and you want bottles, I can put a kit together for you. No worries. And then from there, she'll go over onto Raven and talk about how it's great for your respiratory system. And she'll start covering Raven. I'm trying to look at my notes and see if I miss anything. So far, so good. So you all know, Raven is great for respiratory, right? And this time of the year, everybody's, getting all kinds of ick going on. So she covers Raven. Then from Raven, she goes to Stress Away. Oh, I go to Stress Away. I keep saying she. So I go to Stress Away. And Stress Away, it's in the name, right? Stress Away. This is a great one. Now, this one I say smells like um, margaritas and birthday cake. So if you smell it, margaritas and birthday cake. It's like, yes, it is, or if you have a little kid, you can say it smells like, a Sprite kind of a thing. So lemon lime. So anyway, we talk about how you can use stress away, and it's great for like nighttime, that witching hour at night with little ones, or if you're stressed out about something else in your life. I mean, this is a perfect little um, thing everybody should have in their hands, right? The stress away. Then from there, she goes into peace and calming. Again, it's kind of in the label, isn't it? Another one, and everybody's different. Some people will love the stress away, and others will love the peace and calming. It's very interesting how people are very different with that. It's then I don't know if I've ever seen anybody that like loves them both at the same time just as much. One is always a favorite, but it's never the same one. It's always very different. So that's why you like, and the peace and calming, it's in the name, right? You hand it over and let them smell it. Then now we've got them nice and calm, right? They're nice and relaxed. They've had fun smelling all this. They've had a history lesson, and we end with valor. So valor is going to give them the courage to take the next step into getting a kit. So we talk about valor, how use it first day of school, if you've got going to a new meeting, or you just have one of those days you just need a little extra oomph and little pick me up. Again, you're handing them the bottle. They're smelling the bottle while you're smelling the cap. Oh, that stuff's great, isn't it? So if you can get through this whole thing, and sometimes you don't, so it is what it is. But you'll always want to get their information at the end. Um, I'll have little thieves cleaners that I will hand out. If necessary, I'll be like, hey, I got a little thieves cleaner, give me your info. And then they'll start saying, well, like, well, how much is this bottle? And how much is the peppermint? Or how much is the lemon? How much is the Panaway? So they'll start asking questions like that. And it's like, well, the whole kit, that's when I pull out this little beautiful um, brochure, which I will share with all of you. So can you all see this good enough? Okay, so this breaks down the price of the oils on their own versus with the kit. So it's like the whole thing is worth over $400 worth of product, right? And you'll have your diffuser right on the table running, right? So you always have that, and you'll tell them it includes the diffuser and all those extra little goodies, and you can get to that. But you're going to show them the difference in purchasing one or two versus getting the whole entire kit. So it's over $400 worth of product for 165. And then right now we still have a 10% off on top of that. So it comes to like 147 or something like that. So it's a fabulous deal. And some people will be like ready to go for it. And I have two flip kits. So if you're local and you want to borrow a kit for an event, let me know. But if you can have a flip kit with you so that you can actually give them a kit to take home and then their kit gets sent to your house, it's a great thing. If not, have a piece of paper. I've got, you can either do it on your phone or on an iPad or a piece of paper and get their information with their phone number and their credit card, and you can, have the kit sent to them. So once you talk to them about the whole kit, that's when it's like, well, they could probably, so many people know so many other Young Living people. It's like, well, why come to me? And really, it's because that's when I said, not only do you get this whole kit, but I have a text message that I send every day for 21 days, and you will learn about every single oil in more depth. And then we have a try this sample program where we send out monthly samples. So I go into all the different things. I have the iTovi, and I can do the iTovi scan, and I usually have it with me and offer it for them at that time. So I'm giving them all these resources and things that we do to include them. Tell them we do the Zoom calls. I do it in person, parties. You want to do a class at your house? I'd love to do it with your friends. So you kind of go into all the different things that we offer. And if you don't have the text message or any of that, I'd be more than happy to share it. Like just tell them like my upline, my friend Debbie is going to share it with you. And, it'll be coming from her, but this is all the information about the kid. So there are ways that we can like work around that. You don't have to have all those tools because I have them. When you grow and you get bigger and you can afford to do that, that's a whole nother ball game. But right now, I'm here to support you to do that. So you don't have to invest. You just have to have a kit. And a big thing I think a lot of people are afraid of is like saying, "Oh, I don't know that much about them." Well, you know more about this kit than anybody walking up to your table that's never had a kit. And if somebody walks up to your table that's had a kit, you're going to end up having great conversation with them because you're going to start talking about all the different oils that you both love that just happened to me the other day. They're like, "Oh my God, the thieves, I love that." And you end up having this fabulous conversation. So even if you've never done this before and you've used these products, I know you guys, based on what you know and the tools here, you can do this. It's really simple. And the more fun you look like you're having with it and the more fun you are having with it, the more people are going to want to be attracted to you and want to like be part of it. Like, oh, this looks like good, like fun. Like, I like her energy. Like, I want to be part of this deal, right? We also have you can talk about the loyalty, right? I always put them on the loyalty because then they get a free diffuser the second month. I just assume they want to do that because they're going to get the Thieves bundle the next month and maybe the Nasia the next month. They can always get off, but this way they're going to get the 10% right away and they're going to get a free diffuser the second month. And I try to set up a time that we're going to actually get together and chat and learn more about like loyalty and how to get into your account and how to get to things. So you want to make that connection like I'm your friend. Like I'm not just selling you something. I'm your friend and I'm here to help you and support you in like a whole new healthy lifestyle. You know, you'll also run into people who deal with doTERRA or other companies out there. And that's when you can talk about Young Living. And here's another piece that I'll give to you, the sourcing. We own our own farms, right? We don't use we only use stainless steel and glass when we distill. We don't use plastic. We're distilling right on property, right? They're not getting into a truck and going across, in the smog to somewhere else to be distilled, right there. It's all happening right there. We're not using any chemicals in when we're growing our products. We're using goats and hand picked to get the weeds out, right? So you all know this, like this sets us apart from every other company out there. And if we can just educate people and let them know, um, it makes a huge difference. So many people have no clue. And I always tell people as well, like, you know, they say it can say organic, like, oh, I go to Whole Foods and get or one of the local stores and get my oils. And I'll say they're allowed to say it's 10% organic. They're allowed to say it's organic if it only has 10% property in it, organic properties in it. And that's like crazy. Like people are like, really? I'm like, yeah, like you really don't know what you're getting when you're out there. Where we're 100% pure. There is nothing in our lavender but lavender and nothing in our lemon but lemon. Like and all of the products, right? And we full disclosure on all our labels. Like there's not many companies out there that can say that. So that's like huge. And like I take pride in that. It's like, this is really, really important for people to understand and know. So, so anyway, those are those two little things that I share, and you'd be amazed. I do enroll people right on the spot that take the kit. It just happened to me last week, and it was actually a girl that she had bought Thieves, and she knew about the product, but she was like, I haven't, she doesn't. We get it from a friend or something. And she bought the whole kit right there on the spot that night. And the event hadn't even started. And I sold her the kit. I was like, I've got it in my car. I'll run and get it. She gave me her credit card and I handed her the box. She told me she was allergic to lavender. I said, no problem. I had other oils with me. I swapped out another oil for her lavender and she was a happy camper. So, and her kit is being shipped to my house, and it was during when they had the free diffuser and the desert mist diffuser. So I have a chance now to get back together with her because I have to give her the free diffuser and the oil she won because she did the loyalty. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I have a tendency to do that. But I tell you, I've been using this for I think a year and a half to 2 years, and I swear by it. When I do home classes now, I lay this right across the middle of the table in the center of the dining room table, and we all sit around and we take the oil up and we pass the oil around and we talk. And like each card has like a little information on them. I don't know if you can see with the glare, but these are little magnetic things I got. So they're heavy weighted. So they stay on the table. If you're outside, they're not going to fly away. Um, and I just keep them in a little box and I put them out and I put my oils back just the way I had them on the table. So the next time I take them out, the cards and the oils just match when I put it out on the table. And it works great. And people are loving it. And I've enrolled people, at least I'd say two people, if not three or four, every single month since January. So by doing this is what I do. And I just repeat and rinse, as they say, right? So I'm looking at my notes to see if there's anything else that I did not cover that I'd want to tell you. So if they don't take the next step and get the kit, that's when you're like, okay, do you want to come to a class? Can I get your information? I'll share, some, my classes that I'm doing, or I'll send you my newsletter. Or so you definitely want to like get their information. Don't let them walk away if you can help it without getting their information. Have a raffle at the table. Enter my raffle, right? Give away a thieves cleaner sample, or I take the Mindwise bottles and I put a little cap. I don't know if I've shown you. Should I zip off? Have you seen me do any of this? Do this? Have you seen this? Anybody? Yes,
A
no?
Mindwise bottle?
Yes.
What do you do with it?
Okay, let me show you.
Okay.
So this is my
Oh,
Mindwise bottle,
yes. Yes.
right? I take the label off. I bought these on Etsy. So it says thieves cleaner. I bought 12 of these on Amazon. I don't remember. They were like $1.25 a piece. And then I put the thieves cleaner that comes in the little sachets and I double stick it to the side here. I've got my QR code to my website on there and I give this away. I do this as my raffle. Get your thieves cleaner. So it works fabulously, and it cost me like nothing to do this, right? Because I'm repurposing my bottle. And
So with the Mindwise bottles, I do the same thing, only I have a bear of a time getting the label off, the Mindwise label.
yes,
So I have a thieves household cleaner label that I've made in Canva, and I can share it with you guys. Um, and so with the Mindwise ones, I just print it bigger, so it just
oh,
goes almost all the way around. So there's probably maybe a half an inch to an inch that's the part that I need to clean with my
okay,
lemon oil to get the gook off,
yeah,
because they are a little bit challenging, the Mindwise bottles. And then yeah, I have the spray tops that go with it.
yeah,
So
good,
that, your team will reach out to you, my team will reach out to me, to get that stuff. But when you send everything, if you would send an email, then I can reply back and attach my enter to win form. And
okay,
so that's what I have people fill out, because on the enter to win form, it allows me to look at it and then be able to have conversations with them based on what their biggest health struggle is. Um, Watch this root canal movie, and um, I have a question that I redid it the other day. And do you have a Young Living active account? Yes or no? And then in parentheses, I put, have ordered within the last 12 months.
hmm,
Uh, and and so if they circle yes or no, then I know what kind of conversation to have. Because like Debbie said, people are going to say, yeah, yeah, I know about oils, and yeah, yeah, I like Young Living. And my comeback always is, what do you order on your monthly box? Like I get really excited and they go, oh, well, you see, I haven't ordered in a while. And, so then I go into what's a while? Has it been, longer than 12 months? And then they go, yes. And then, if you don't know, that's when you can change somebody's enroller and sponsor as if they haven't ordered for 12 months. So people will say, yes, they know Young Living and yes, they use it. But if you don't come back with that answer or
Mhm.
that question, you really have a missed opportunity for
Absolutely.
sure. Yes. Um, and then,
Yeah, I just met somebody else at another event and was like, "Oh, I love thieves. That stuff's the greatest." And I'm like, "Oh, well, like, where do you get it?" "Oh, yeah, well, my friend used to give it to me. I used to live in Utah, but I don't have a connection here anymore." I'm like, "Okay, I'm your connection. Like,
yep.
let's swap numbers."
And
So
then where do you find your events?
I do a lot of quarter auctions. And those are you just there's quarter auction Facebook pages, and I can connect you to those locally, but just look for quarter auctions. So I don't know if you've ever done a quarter auction, but it's
No.
basically a quarter, right? So um, it's always a fundraiser for different there's always they're raising money for either it's pets or some cause. They're the hurricane they were doing for. So they people come in, they buy a paddle, and there's most of the vendors there are like networking people or they're craft people that make things them that they sell. Um, necklaces and then all kinds of different, mostly networking companies, the nail companies and Mary Kay. And so there's 10 to 12 of us easy around the room. And we all have a raffle on our table. I typically do the thieves cleaner. And then you raffle off something in the auction, and people come in, they buy a paddle for $2 a paddle. That money goes towards the fundraiser that we're raising money for that time, that organization. And then we go around the room. We start at one spot, and I have these kits that I put together, which if you want to make them with me, I'm game. But there's other ways of doing it. So I have this is my healthy home kit, and it's basically thieves cleaner, fruit wash, bath scrub, purification spray, and a stain stick that I put all together in a little box. And I auction these off for say 2 quarters or 3 quarters. Everybody, if you get your paddle, they take their paddle if you want to put in 3 quarters to win the thing. There's a bucket on the table. They put their 3 quarters in. If they have two paddles that they want a chance on, then they got to put 6 quarters in, and it goes in the table. And they hold up their numbers, and then I call off numbers. And when somebody's number gets called, that's the paddles up, they win my gift, and I get all the quarters. So I basically pay for whatever I just donated with all the quarters. So I do this a couple of times a month with some people. There's also different, you can go online on Facebook and just Google like vendor events. You can do all kinds of like triathlons or any kind of runs. You can do the farmers markets. I know Peggy was doing farmers markets a lot. There's all kinds of local things, especially with craft things going on now, especially with the holidays. They're all over the place. So you really just really go online and start looking on Facebook for like vendor events. And then when you're at a vendor event, you meet other vendors and like, oh, what are you doing next week? And they tell you about different things that they're doing. And that's how you kind of learn and get into the loop with other people. So that's how I've kind of done it. I've got something going on. Then I went to a networking thing and I met a bunch of people at the networking thing, which I enrolled them, a couple of people from there, and then they're inviting me to another event to speak somewhere else. So it kind of just rolls. And the more people you meet and the more you put yourself out there and say, hey, I'll do something. Sure. You want me to donate? Sure. You want me to teach? Sure.
And a question in the chat is where are good places from Carolina? Where are good places to have these parties if no one asks for a party personally?
Well, you can do it at your home if you can. And again, I'll do a party at my home from the names that I got from my vendor events. and even from these quarter auctions. And I have a little thing that I ask, are you interested in hosting event? Are you interested in coming, learning more about essential oils? Are you interested in coming to a class? That's what my little raffle thing says on it. So then if they said they want to come to an event or they want to learn more, I email or I text them and say, I'm doing an event on Thursday, the 17th at my house, and I'll do it at my home. I also do events in there's a local pub up in Lake Park that lets me like set up on a Monday night and invite people to come and advertise right there. And I do them in the pub. It's a really quiet night for them. I could bring people in and they love that. So I do events there for them. You can even set up one in even Starbucks and meet up with a couple of people in Starbucks. Or
And if you have somebody that lives in an apartment, they might be able to use the community center. Like Peggy lives in a townhouse development and they have a community clubhouse. And
Mhm.
so you can reserve, time and dates like that. And so that's an option. And then always, reach out to your person, your upline. Um, and because especially if you're in the same location, then, you can really help and support each other with coming up with ideas and supplies. If you need supplies, samples, that kind of thing, us leaders here are here to help you and support you,
Absolutely.
and get the ball rolling, right, for you.
Yeah, down here in Florida, like so many communities have their clubhouses that you can use, and you may have to pay a small fee, or if somebody lives there, I do it with actually my upline up in Palm Beach, and we don't pay a thing. She just has to book the room, and we can do it up there. You could even do it during the day at a park. If it's nice and down in Florida, obviously, it's so beautiful out. So you can just say, we're going to meet at Lake Ida Park, and bring some popcorn and some ninja, or make up a punch and you know take that picnic table and just set up that all my little things that I have right on the table, and off you go. You can do it right there in a park. If you don't want to do it in your home. If you're local and want to do it at my house, I'm game. Like, you let me know.
Yeah.
I've done it at our pool. I've had events at our pool. Just said, all right, we're going to meet at the pool tonight. And we met out at the pool one night, and it was fabulous.
Allie or Peggy, Carolina, do you have any more questions for Debbie?
No.
No, I thought this was really helpful. I'm just putting in my white angelica in my diffuser. That's why I couldn't, whatever. But no, I found this very informative and helpful, and
And then it's me next, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
to trying some of these techniques out.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
really,
and the
really
one
simple.
thing, yep,
And
and
these,
the one thing I've done what Deb's done, and the
mm-hmm.
higher table is definitely, I've noticed a difference.
Yeah.
People not wanting to bend over and they're more apt to walk up and check it out. The
Hmm.
order
Okay.
of the oils that Deb said too is really important.
Hmm.
Type of thing. And like she said, somebody might just walk up, and I've had that, ask for one particular oil, and might ask about it if you don't always get started in the order, but they say that order is important. But
Hmm.
so that's something that I definitely noticed.
And I have
So
the risers, so Allie or Peggy, if you, need
I've
to
got
borrow.
them too. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. How do I get those educational lavender magnet looking things? Do you just make them yourself or?
Yeah. So I'll send you the link
Oh, okay.
of
Yeah.
these, so that I just send them. It's a photo. I
Yeah,
send it
it's a
to
nice looking.
Walgreens and print it.
Okay. Yeah.
And they always have coupons. So always watch. always
We
make sure
can
you're
do it
using.
together at my house, Ally, because I have a
Yeah,
big.
you're the
And then,
guru. Yeah.
and then these are
Okay.
just little magnet things that I bought on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you just slide the picture in and
Oh,
yeah,
slides in the,
it just
oh,
slides
that's
right
cool.
in.
Yep.
Just
Nice.
slide it right on in and it keeps it weighted, it keeps it clean, it keeps it dry. And if you're
Yep.
outside, it's not going to fly away. So I don't magnet, I leave the magnet on there,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's
Yep.
weighted enough where it's not going to fly away,
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
or move
Yep.
off the table too easily. And then I was in creative memory, so I have these little creative memories things. So they fit beautifully right in here. So they just slide right in this little envelope. And I keep them, like I said, all in the same order. So when I'm gonna go set up again, I just put them in and you put them kind of like zigzaggy. So
Yeah.
they're like laying like this. So it's like people will catch, like, oh, she starts here, then she went here, then she went there, then she went here. So they kind of follow along, like, the routine. You can see it.
Yep.
So and
So
yeah,
I
and
have a question.
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm a leader of water aerobics, so I have potential, 15 people in each class, and I'm going to be doing like two classes separate times and then another day. So I'll have like potentially like, you know, 15 times four, good amount of people. Um, I try to collect their emails and what they want. And then I try to, I send out a text saying like, hey, soup Soiree or whatever. Um, but I don't get any responses from these
Okay, so
people. So
I'm
I
gonna,
don't know.
are you done, Deb?
Yeah, so I'm going to pass it to um, Sheila. So that's how I do a vendor event. And once I've got them, and I'm going to invite them to a class, that's what Sheila's going to talk about now is how to get them there.
How to get them there. Yep. Okay.
Okay,
So
thank you.
many, many different ways. Okay. Uh, it's it just varies. You do have to put some time in this. So
Mhm.
90% of the time that you put into this should be inviting. That's the roundabout number, right? 90% of your time that you're spending on your Young Living business should be in inviting. Okay. So how do you do that? Where do you do it? And so if everybody's on Facebook or Instagram or whatever your thing is, right? What's the saying? I'm a user of Facebook. I'm not I don't look at other people's stuff, right? Like I use it for, and post and do that. However, if you work, a lot of people can't seem to stay focused for too long. So in a lot of the Eric Worre trainings and all of those things that we've been through, they say if you can just set a timer for 15 minutes and get a project done. Okay. So set the timer for 15 minutes and go and look at your Facebook, I'm Facebook. I hardly ever get on Instagram, but Facebook, and look at your friends that you know and watch what they're saying. My son has a fever. I don't feel very well, whatever it is, okay? And then do not, do not, do not put a comment in there. You might put a comment in there maybe that I private messaged you, but do not put anything, I've got just the right thing for you, or use thieves, or, whatever, right? So you're going to private message them and you're going to say, hey, I'm really sorry that Johnny is not feeling good. I don't know if you know anything about natural and products that can help you naturally, such as thieves, right? Would you like a sample? Do you want to have a conversation? I'm here. I want to support you and I want to support Johnny, like whatever it is. Okay. So if you take 15 minutes a day and you look at your people on your Instagram or your Facebook and you really, read the posts and see who needs a private message from you, and I'm so strong on samples, right? So whatever, I understand you might be leery, or if you haven't used it before, like whatever it is, would you like a sample, right? Because samples are key, right? And that's like an exercise, right? To do that, to get in the habit of it. So Facebook messaging people that you know, okay? As far as like events that you're having or your team is having, okay? Like when you're starting out, it's really hard, right? I had Nancy do all my teaching, and I said, I'm never going to teach. I'm never going to do this as a business. I'm never going to teach. Never, 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 never. Okay. We'll never say never. So, use the support and try to do this with either like Allie, with Peggy, or with me, or like somebody in our team, right? And as we say that a lot, but there has to be a scheduled time to be spent on doing the work together, okay? And so I just couldn't get, enough of wanting to learn about Young Living and about the products and all of that. So there's plenty of Facebook groups, Young Living Facebook groups that you can go to. And that might be, again, another way to go into one of those groups and say, what are you guys finding that's working right now with having, I don't say classes anymore, because people, the minute they hear class, they just shut down, because it's like, oh my gosh, it's the last thing I want to do is be taught to when I've been working all day and my kid's got a cold and I'm tired. And, I call it either a table talk or, a gathering, whatever, however you speak, because your people are going to know how you speak. Okay. And so I went to as many events as I could, right? From other people. And it's a continuation on really what's happening now and what's working now versus what worked before. So, like before COVID, a lot of in-person was working really, really well, right? And then COVID hit, and then we ended up having to, switch gears, and we were doing make and take events virtually. So, if you there, people are going to want to do different things, right? Not all of your people that are going to want to do and come to the same things or be a part of the same things. So we went to a virtual make and take. So we made 5 things to make, and we put them out in a little kit, and you paid $30 or $35 if I had to mail it. And then virtually we got on the call and we went through and did each make and take at a time. That might be nice for somebody that hasn't come out of their shell since COVID, right? And they still want to be at home. And so you have to know where your person is, and whatever it is that they want, that's how you're going to present it to them. And you just, have to ask, do you like in-person stuff? Do you like to be with people? Do you like to do, something virtually? We do, fun bingo virtually, and we can do pretty much anything it is that you want and talk about. So what's your interest? It's just having those conversations and not jumping into, oh my God, I do Young Living, come to this. I want to, sell you this, because that's how they're going to feel, right? So you have to make it about them. Okay. And listen to what it is that they're saying to you. This is the biggest piece. This is the biggest piece about the whole thing, about the whole business. You need to be with positive people that are going to support you in this, and not be jealous or mock you, or somebody who doesn't support your decision. Okay. I mean, I'm very blessed to have Keith, to support me, but it really makes it hard, right? Especially when you're first starting out. And so I invite you to kind of reduce the time that you're spending with those negative people and find the time to come and gather around the positive people for sure. And so the other thing is cross lines. Like Debbie and I are cross lines. We're not in the same team. And so it's great to be able to talk to each other. And Debbie and I do this all the time, is to bounce ideas off each other. Like, hey, Deb, what's working for you? You know, what's working for me? Because it matters, right? And you've got that support team of a cross line. And so I would also say, whenever you do anything, especially, oh gosh, I would just say, I don't care who you are, whether you're a star or whether, you know, you're a gold. I think it's important to do it with somebody, not to do a class on your own or a gathering or whatever it is that you want to call it, because you need that other person there to assist you, to help you, to answer some questions. If Allie's having a conversation with somebody, you know, at least I'm there to have a conversation with somebody else, right? And be able to help enroll people. Like last Thursday when I had the make and take, it was from 4 to 8. I was on my feet the whole time. People, it was constant people. Thank God. And I mean, thank God Christy was here, because she was helping everybody, you know, with how the make and take work and measuring and, you know, things like that. It's really hard to do this on your own. I mean, if it's more than 2 people, right? I mean, it really is. So if there's things that you want to do, topics you want to cover, whatever it is, reach out to somebody to put it together, because we say things all the time that we're going to do, and then it's, you know, 6 months later, right? And so if you're really serious about it, you got to schedule the time to make this peg move forward for you. And anybody that is in your upline, they will be more than happy to help you do that. All right. And so every once in a while, we'll do 90-day runs. What are 90-day runs? 90-day runs are for 90 days. We focus more on our Young Living business than we have, and we actually like schedule the time to do certain things and spend more time in the business. Okay. So 90 days is typically, when you do it, is a growth period for your business. Okay. And that 90 days, we're going to do a lot of different things for sure. And so I ask about that brand partner book that you should have gotten. Some of the newer ones would have gotten it. And in there, they walk you through like what to do and how to do it. I think most of you have the brand partner guidebook, which that tells you what to do, who to talk to, how to keep track of who you've talked to, until you get the systems, right? Like some of us have. And Sarah Harnish, you know, she went to silver in 6 months or whatever it was, and the way she did that was 4 to 6 classes a month, 4 to 6 classes a month, 4 to 6 classes a month, right? And so whatever that looks like for you, that's 4 to 6 events, 4 to 6, you know, touches with people, right? But it has to be engagement and consistency in this particular business, probably with any business, is consistency. If you don't stay with consistency, you're going to go in, out, in, out, in and out. And that's okay if you're okay with that, right? So it's whatever you want your Young Living business to look like. But to be a steady Eddie and to keep going, it has to be consistency, and you need to be in the business. If you could at least, you know, truly, and I mean truly 15 minutes a day, and I mean 15 minutes a day of things that are going to, you know, grow your business, right? Not making a post, not, you know, it's finding people to talk to. In that 15 minutes, you find who it is that you're gonna talk to. And it's easy for me to probably say because I've been self-employed for 30 years, right? So I know if I don't do work, nothing's going to come my way, right? So I got to spend time in my business for sure. So you get to choose every day how you show up and what it is that you want. But it was the best decision, that I've made because I love serving people, helping people, and changing them and their health and every and my own health, right? So, like Debbie said, when you are talking to somebody that has been with Young Living before and they've had a person, you really need to sell what the team does. And we send out samples every month. I personally would carry that monthly oiler that I mail out to you. I would keep that in my purse all the time because when the conversation comes up, you can say, hey, yeah, look at this. My team, my upline, my whatever, sends us out every month with 2 samples. And, there is a way to do an iTovi virtually, but Catherine has the Zyto, and there's a system now and a way to be able to do that and virtually, and it just scans your face and it tells you what your body needs. That is on the back of the newsletter, and I'm going to keep it there so that it's a way for people to be able to reach out to us. So samples are big. If you don't have a sample of something and you need a sample, you need to reach out to one of us because we'll be more than happy to give you the sample. When you're first starting, family and friends are the most difficult. They really are. It's just how it is with so many things. So what I always encourage people to do when they're new is, especially with a family or friend, say, hey, I'm starting this, I'm really passionate about Young Living. I'm really passionate about natural. And I've gotten rid of all of the Tide and all of the things, out of my house. And I really want to do this, but I need practice. And so would you be okay with Mom getting 4 of your friends together so that I can practice? Because my mentor wants me to do it at least 5 times to make sure that I'm educating the right way and I know what I'm talking about. And she would be there because she needs to watch me. She's mentoring me. So is there any way that you could get some friends together for me to practice? When you do that, that just takes off the pressure that you're having a class and oh my God, they don't want to invite their people because they don't know what you're going to say. But when you present it that way, it just deflates that balloon and they're like, well, of course I'd love to help you out, right? Because people want to help people out. They just don't know how to help you out, right? And by you asking them to buy a kit isn't really helping anybody out, right? Because they're going to regret it later or they're going to be like, oh God, she made me buy this and made me spend this money, right? But when you approach it in that you're needing to practice and learn about these products, it's a whole different ball game. Whatever groups you're interested in, if that's pets, dogs, sewing, cooking, like whatever it is, find all those Facebook groups that you can possibly find in those groups and join them. Now, the problem is when you join those, they don't want you to sell in those. You will get booted out. Your posts you'll get in trouble. And what you're looking for is the person that has posted a question in that group. And then that's again when you want to private message them. Hey, I saw you posted in the group that your dog's got a hot spot. I don't put any private message them. I don't put anything on my dog that's toxic. And so we have this great animal sense ointment that I use. Do you want me to send you a sample? All right. Then I always in there, I don't care who they are, I leave my name, my number, and my Young Living link. And I always put in there, if you want to read more about what I want to send you, just go to this link and just look around at it, and you'll find the ingredients and, like, all the things, right? And so again, with those groups and that interest, you've got to block off your time. This is a job. Okay. It's fun. Debbie and I love it, and it's fun, and we make it fun, right? But you have to block off your time in your day to be able to do these tasks, right? Which are going to lead you to knowing more people. Again, the team support, I think we're a really good team as far as all of us and the support that we have. The other thing is, what's his name? Peggy, you probably remember him, or Deb, the guy from Young Living that's in charge of the Spanish market that came, and Martin Marino or something, or whatever his name is. People are starting, and there's a lot of people that are already wanting to be out and wanting to be with community, but there's still, people that are shy about coming out since COVID. So you want to do events that aren't necessarily Young Living related. So, for example, the soup soiree, right? I had soup soiree, people come and eat soup and judge the soup, and we had 40 people there, and it's to get in front of people so that they get to know you. And who do they do business with? People they know, like, and trust. Okay. Like Debbie said, some people at the vendor event will buy right there, and some you have to be able to start a conversation with and a relationship with, and so forth. So with, let's say, Allie and your swimming, right? Your swimming people, you have to, yes, you have a relationship with them because you're already, teaching them swimming, right? But you can start with just not necessarily, inviting them to all of the Young Living things, right? But like you said, if you know them well enough, you could say, hey, I've sent you guys a couple emails, and that's what I'm really passionate about. Is anybody willing to let me practice? Do the same thing with practice, right? Can you get some people together, because my mentor is requiring, blame it on me, right? Push it on me, is requiring that I do this 5 times before she's, like, really wanting, to let me go on my own, right? And I'll give you a hostess gift. I'll give you a really nice hostess gift, and thank you for your time, and and whatnot. And of course, that's us again to support you, because you guys don't have a lot of inventory and extra things. So anytime you need samples or hostess gifts or anything like that, reach out to us for that. And for my team, right, if you don't have a website, right, even if you can't make one of my events, that doesn't mean that you don't promote it, right? You promote it because you don't know who that's going to be an interest to them. And if they come, we always ask, who invited you? We're going to support you. We're going to make sure that they get your, that with you, right? If that's what they choose to do, we're going to make sure that they get connected to you and that they're on your team and you're the enroller and sponsor, right? Nobody's going to steal from anybody. You can't steal. You can't poach. If somebody has a Young Living person, that they order from, and they order every month, you can't poach that person and steal them to your team. Now, does that mean that you don't invite them? No. That means that you invite them and you ask them to invite other people. Because if that person really isn't doing anything, they're really not going to care if you're taking their friend under your wing or not. Okay. And it doesn't mean that they can't come to your education, your table talks, your events, whatever it is, because you want whoever you can get because you want to get in front of more people, right? You want people to get to know you and like you and trust you. And then, that'll happen. Now, with that being said, I know this is recorded, so maybe I shouldn't say it, but it is legal. So there is that. If Susie's on a monthly, if Susie's got an active account, Susie's husband can go under anybody else. They do not have to go in the same line. Okay. So that's another option, right? If Susie's, whatever. So you got that. And the other thing is that I always ask people, what it is that they're interested in. So, hey swimmers, we're doing another soup, but now this time it's a soup and sing, and we're going to have croaky, and it's really fun. Is there something, a topic that you guys would love for my team to bring to us? What are you interested in? Just find out anything, because we got a team that's educated, and we can, if we don't know, we'll find it, right? Because there's so many resources out there. So that's the thing, is you got to have conversations. You just can't say, hey, come to this Young Living thing, and I'm doing this Young Living business, and you should have these oils, and whatnot. It doesn't work like that. You will turn people off, and we all did it, right? Didn't we all do it, Debbie? I think we all did it in the very beginning. We just shoved it in their face. Wear your oils every single day, and have an oil with you so you can put it on somebody else. Okay. Now there is, I'm going to keep using Allie as an example, but chlorine is so bad for the body. It's really bad. Now you don't want to turn off your swimmers, because that's how you're getting paid, is teaching the swimming lessons, right? Or the water aerobics or whatever. But you can, and we can put samples together of like a geranium mix that they would use either, I don't remember if it's before or after they're out of the chlorine, so that the chlorine just doesn't like soak into the body just like that. And that's just a little gifty thing. Maybe you give it to them and say, hey, I'm really, I love swimming. Unfortunately, life is, we have to have chlorine, but here's something, that I use and my team uses, because my friend has an indoor pool, and this is what she does. And, you might like this. And it's just a little sample of something, right? But I'm going to go back to, these are all great ideas, but if we don't implement it and we don't put our time in our business, we're not going to get anywhere. Okay. So whatever you guys come up with that you want to do, and your ideas and things that you've seen or whatever it is, you have to come to us so that we can meet with you, make these things, do these things, and get the things to fruition for you. So wear your oils, have them handy, because people will no doubt, ask, what are you wearing? Okay. Now, if you don't have a CRM system to take care of your clients and notes and all of that, I will, when Debbie emails her stuff, I will reply back with my Enter to Win form. I will reply back with the Eric Worre tracker. And it's a tracker, and what it does is you keep track of all the people that you've talked to and all of their information, and then you go back. Follow up is key, right? So I'm sure Debbie follows up with her people, from the vendor event, whether they ordered or not, right? Because that's key. And you're going to ask them, hey, can I put you on my email list? My team sends out, fun things that we're doing, right? So again, even if you can't be there, you still need to send out what's happening. Whether they come or not, that's not the point. The point is that they're going to see from you that you are doing things, right? Your team, this is a team thing. Your team is doing things. So even if you can't make it, even if you don't want to come, you want to send it on to your sphere of people because you want them to see that you're busy. Okay. And that there's opportunities and that you are not just going to sell them a bottle of oil and leave them dry. Because how many people have we all met that have bought that kit and they've either not used it, not opened it, it's still in the closet, whatever it is, because they had absolutely no support. They went to somebody's friend's house and they bought a kit out of niceness and there it sits. There are not a lot of people that are like us that are really, really passionate about teaching, sharing, and keeping people educated because there are serious medicinal properties in these products and there's serious health benefits that people can change over, but they need direction, they need guidance, and they need consistency. Like I'm going to say that over and over and over. And so I'll email the Eric Warrior Tracker. So I think my team knows how to go to my website and look at the events tab and share it. And if you don't, that's fine. We can meet. I would like to meet after this with you guys if you want to, or whoever wants to really talk about some ideas and put some things together that are gonna produce some results for you. If you have the ability to host a networking event, that's a nice idea too. A networking event is maybe reach out to, like Peggy has, Abundant Health, right? Allie, I don't know if there's any kind of, massage thing, entity, but we can look and we can search for that to try to find a way to reach out to the massage therapist to ask them about the raindrop. Do they know about it? Talk about it. Actually give them one so that they can experience it, right? And so, I'm picking on Allie because I got Allie and Peggy here that I know, and Allie does, teaches water aerobics, and she's also a massage therapist. So there's things that we can do. And like you mentioned, Allie, about inviting your swimmers, it's just like it is 7 to 18 times that you have a conversation with the same person about this. I got asked 7 times to do the business before I finally even had an idea to look at it. Right. So when people say no, they're saying no right now in the moment. Most of the time, they're not saying no, forever. And so back to the newsletter, use that monthly oiler to your advantage, right? Ask your swimmers, ask your massage people if they want to get that monthly newsletter by email. So, they could read it and just start to give them little bits of information about products, right? Wow, they have that. Oh, wow, that does what? Oh, then I mean it's important, right? To keep in touch with them and so forth. There are Young Living Facebook groups. And so you can join the Young Living Facebook groups and ask again what's helping or what's working for people. And I always tell people, like, I'm just making these things up, and I'm relying on you to tell me what topics you want me to talk about, or what fun events you want to have, or whatnot. A perfect example was I had a gal, and she's so sweet, and she's so worried about her friends, and so she kept trying to get them to come to my house for a talk, just a little health talk. Well, it took her 3 times. She kept trying. She got him there, and it took her to talk to them after the group and talk about the reset and things like that. and she ended up getting 3 out of the 4. Well, I mean, I did the enrollment for her because she's brand new, so she doesn't know how to do that. Now, that's the other thing, is whatever it is that you don't know how to do, right? You need to reach out to us to help you with it. That's why it's really important to have another person with you when you're doing some sort of event, or maybe preparing what it is that you're gonna, send out or email out. Just have a second, set of eyes to look at it. So that you're not, I don't know what I want to say, Deb. You're not forcing, the Young Living on them. It's coming from your heart and how you want to help. And the other thing too is you tell them that you're learning. You go to events to learn, and that's how I'm getting, myself familiar, and that's how I want to change my health, is because I'm going to things and learning, from my mentor, right? And of course, follow up is always the key, but 90% of your time needs to be inviting, and you got to have a schedule for that. And let's put a plan. Let's put your work plan together based on what your schedule is. So I'm hoping that anybody I'm always here for you, right? And Debbie is too if I'm not, and the other team is too. So Peggy, you always have conversations with people when you're at the pool, when you're in the grocery store, and so would you share the majority of your people that you enroll? How have you met them? She's on mute, but here she is.
Unmuted. Yeah. How have I met them?
Yeah,
Well,
and
I mean,
or invited them to something.
um, the big thing, like you said, is just starting a normal conversation and not even bringing up Young Living. Sometimes that's the key. For me, is not even talking basically Young Living, but it's like you said, listening to their needs. I hear somebody in the grocery store and talking about their kid being sick or something like that, or, oh, I tried this or that. I mean, just listening to conversations. And like I said, you don't jump into it, but that's been huge because you want to gain trust. I think that's a big thing, is you want people to trust you. And so for me, it's like I said, not bringing it in, but then, and I've made that mistake at the beginning of not getting their information all the time. I may give them my business card, but I haven't always gotten their information. And
Yeah, I
then
think we're all guilty of that.
yeah, so
Carolina or Allie, anybody else want to step in and
I
share?
wanted to say
I
a few.
will after.
Ellie, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, so like even today at work, because I just picked up a side gig at Domino's because I wasn't able to do my normal job for personal whatever health reasons. And then so I said, yeah, if I can get off early, that'd be fine. Because I have a Zoom call. One of my coworkers that's kind of an egg bomb, and we got into a riffraff about it, whatever. Anyway, um, he said, well, what's that Zoom call about? I said, well, I do essential oils, Young Living. Oh, it's LMV. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, whatever,
I love it.
level of marketing or whatever.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and I'm like, well, I basically just teach people or educate people about it and let them make it, because I said I'm not a pusher. I don't, sell anything. I just want to educate people. But he had already had like a preconceived notion
Yep.
about multi-level marketing. And I, whatever. I just kind of said what I do, and it's important for me to do this call, so if I can get off early, that'd be fine. But all the naysayers, all the people that do the doTERRA and stuff, I want them to come. And I have another massage therapist that I met through a chair event, and she said she does doTERRA. And so I didn't go into like how doTERRA sucks. I mean, it doesn't suck. It's just, it's not as good of quality. But I think she's interested in coming to a class, and then learning the raindrop technique. Because if I can get her to learn the raindrop technique and show her like this is some powerful stuff. But yeah, I mean, I mention it to my clients that are massage clients, and I haven't ever been up charging the oils yet. And so, there's a whole bunch of business plan that I can go into, whatever. But I can talk to Sheila about it more, in depth. But I want them to, I'll use the oil for now until the first of the year, and then I'll let people know like this isn't going to be a free charge anymore. This is going to be an upcharge. And then if they want to buy an oil and keep it and then use it when they come, that would be fine. Or like how another lady does a raindrop, and if you have your own oils and it's only $50 instead of $75. But I just, I have a whole bunch of people that I need to get involved. Church people, water aerobic people, my family members, they're interested. My mom told me, oh, buy me one of these because, her friend had the lemon chiffon. And I'm like, no, Mom, you need to come to a class with me because we don't want to just give you one thing. We want to, teach you about how cleaning is better, done with I would like my mom to buy an intro thing and then also a cleaning thing, but yeah, I don't know what to do with the naysayers.
Debbie, you want to take that?
1 second, I'm just texting Carolina. Give me
Okay.
2 seconds.
So one, Debbie's a massage therapist as well.
Oh, nice.
So, she might have something to help you with. And I think the first thing that we need to do, because you're so new, Allie, is really, it's like schedule the work time every week that you and I are going to do, right? We can do it Zoom, right? We can create the raindrop, graphic for you to like hand them, but we need to get that scheduled, right? Because that's the only way that it's going to move forward for you is scheduling time with me to put your ideas together and to get them in place. Because you got some great ideas.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, I would encourage, how do you use your oils, first of all, in your massage?
So I do an intake, say, hey, where you sore, oh, neck and shoulders, or oh, low back. So then I'll put on, all the good stuff for neck and shoulders and back, whether it's
You
like
use
a
it
winter
straight?
yeah, I usually just put it on, while I'm incorporating the massage or whatever.
Okay.
But
So
do you
roll it
use
on,
barrier oil,
whatever.
or do you use the oil straight?
so like you're using like Panaway right out of the bottle?
Yeah, I mean, I just put some on, like my hands, rub it in, then I tell them to here, smell my hands, take deep breath in, do 3 breaths, and then I'll just apply it, whatever I had on my hands, on the body. Or if it's a roll on, like the deep relief, that's really good. I just apply that directly to wherever their sore spots are.
So I have a kit I created for myself,
Uh-huh.
of all roll-ons.
Okay.
So, and I don't charge extra.
Okay. Yep.
But I make like a roll-on of like, so I have lavender, like I've got them, it's downstairs. I could probably run and get it out of my car, but it's like, so I have like 12 roll-ons. So lavender is my first roll-on.
Roll-ons that you've made.
I've made a roll-on. I've taken the little blue bottles and I've used only 8 to 10 drops of my lavender. So I'm not going through my oils like nuts. So I have my lavender roll-on, and then I have my deep relief roll-on. I've got a Panaway roll-on. I've got a cypress roll-on. I've got a thieves roll-on. I've got a raindrop roll-on at the end. I've got a Valor roll-on at the way beginning. So when I first start, I typically will take the lavender and roll it on my hands, and then stand over their face with my hands and say, breathe it in 3 times. So it's on my body, they're breathing it in. Okay. And it's a roll on with 8 to 10 drops. So I'm not going through tons of oil. Then when I do a massage, I start at their feet. So I roll the Valor on my hands and then put it on their feet. So I'm not directly rolling the roller on their body because I'm going to different bodies. I don't want to be rolling the same roller on 20 bodies or right. So I'm rolling it on my hand and then I'm putting it on their body. So I'm doing the Valor on their feet, right? So like up their spine on their feet. So and then I like spot treat, like if I find a spot on their leg, right? And like kind of like intuitively, like I intuitively say, all right, like I can tell it's like I need cypress today for this person. Their circulation's like the pits, or I need release. A lot of times I use a lot of release. So I have those in there. And I don't use every single oil every single time. I do usually use the lavender, and then the Valor, and then I have a raindrop that I combo at the end that I roll on my hand, and then I go up their back with it. Roll it on my hand, go up their back. Roll up my hand, go up their back, and then I'll roll it. I'll do like so they're not getting a full raindrop, but at least they're getting the oils in their body. Now these are clients I see pretty much on a daily basis, or they're regular clients of mine. But I feel like it makes a big difference, and I'm not charging them more. I would even like cut them 5 minutes. They're not even going to know if it's a price thing. But I go through them and they don't, I mean, they last pretty long by doing it that way. And then they'll ask, oh, they'll smell like the deep relief or the Panaway when I'm going to put it on their neck. They'll smell it and oh, what's that? And that's when you can open up the conversation. So I would suggest that if you have regulars that I would not charge them. If you're okay, if you can financially do that, I wouldn't charge them.
I've been doing that, not charging for the last 20 years, and I've had plenty of regulars and stuff, and they appreciate it. I just
Right,
figured maybe with the new clients, or like let them know at the beginning, because I was trying to figure out how can I get them to buy it, because I always give it for free and they never buy it, and
right.
I tell them about it. I send links or whatever to some people, like one of the clients that I had, I told them about, I don't know if you guys got the Young Living Sherry thing December 15th or something for the men's, they're having a pizza thing, but I
Yeah.
sent him the link to that as well. And then I send our healthy homes, I do, and I sent that to him so he can look at the events and stuff to learn about or whatever. But it's like these people never, they're regulars, but they never really are interested in purchasing, any of the oils. So I thought if I make it,
Mhm.
a point that like, hey, this is not free anymore. If you buy it, then at least they'll buy it, but I don't know. I have
Yeah,
mixed feelings.
I'm not really sure. I don't have a whole lot of my massage clients, honestly, that actually buy the kits, quite honestly. I've had
Okay.
one or two, but not a whole lot of them. Um,
Mhm.
so it's like
I
really
mean,
a
I
hard
don't have a
call on that.
problem. I'm just trying to figure out like a way to get my massage clients like in the business, or like, like, hey, buy it for $25 and then it's not $10 each time. That makes a perceived value. And then I'm not giving it away for free and deducting, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
uh,
right.
you get them to buy it at least once, because then maybe if they do buy the starter kit, then maybe they'll like it, diffuse it. And I tell people about, I got dogs that chew everything, and I got pigeons that like to peck at each other, and like I put the diffuser in, and all of a sudden they're like little angels. And I'm like, if
Right.
it works for
Well,
them,
and that's also, they're there for a massage, right? I know
Yeah.
Peggy. So, so they don't want to be like talked to
So,
there, right?
right.
Because they're there for a massage. So what I would say is let's create, an envelope and a handout of things. So you give it to them every single time they come, right?
Okay.
And then, it's just that's what you're going to be doing is handing out We'll come up with a little, you know, this is a raindrop and this is, you know, X amount of price, you know, and we'll come up with something, you know, that you can hand out all the time, right? Uh,
Mm.
and you know, with it, okay, how does it go? The people that we think would be the best or the people that we want, you know, to do the business with us are very rarely the people that actually end up doing it.
Mhm.
So,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
don't judge, don't try to, oh, the massage therapist, like, oh, she'd be great, right? Like it just really doesn't work like that. They'll come, right? They will come, don't force it. Um, and the biggest thing I can say is we need to come up with a plan. You need to come up with your business time frame, like what days and times are you going to work? How does that fit for us? And then, you know, figure out the plan for who you're going to invite and how you're going to do it.
Hmm.
Do you think you could get them to come to like a make and take?
I actually tried to get people to do the make and take that was just,
Yep.
whatever, but then of course I I'm run by Domino's now. It's on their schedule. So I didn't get off work early, but yeah, I know that my sister-in-law, my mom, my friend, a few people, like people that I could for sure get, they would like to do a make and take, I'm sure.
And we don't have to do it at my place, right? Because I'm a realtor and and I'm used to driving, but a lot of people aren't. So
Yeah.
if
We
there's the
could do that my parents'
sister-in-law or
house.
if there's whoever that wants
Mhm.
to have it at their house,
Right.
and I always tell people, I always tell my leaders, just find 3 dates and times that work for them, and trust me, one of us will be there to support you.
Okay.
Right? Because it's too much time for, let me go to her and then let me ask her and then let
Fine.
me see if this works. And they've already lost the interest then. So
Yeah.
whatever works for them, 3 days, get 3 dates and times out of them that works for them, and somebody will make it work.
What
Okay.
I was asking is, do you think some of your massage clients or even your pool girls would be interested in coming to like a make and take?
Yeah, eventually. Right now, I'm out of my pool session. It'll be starting up in mid-January again. I still have my old pool ladies that I have information for. But yeah, all the new ones and then the old ones, I could send out another like email or text or
Right. So
whatever.
a phone call works really well.
Okay,
You
phone
have a
call. I
phone?
have
I mean,
tried
you have
phone
their phone
call.
number? If
I have all their numbers. Yeah.
okay, so people read emails and they delete them or they go back to them next time. If you
Okay.
call them and say, "Hey, I'm doing this. It's going to be really fun. We're making, I don't know, you guys come up. I usually like do two. And like I now and I didn't get a chance to say this, well, Carolina was on there, but I charge $10 ahead of time for a make and take and then 20 at the door. And typically everybody pays me ahead of time. So
Yeah, and
I
I
get
just
a
pay and I just
commitment.
have them, I just per item, right, that they want to make because I don't want to judge what they want to make. Here's the selection of 10 things. Here's the pricing. You know, if you want to make 10 roller bottles or, you know, whatever.
Right.
So
So
this is the, I think you know, but here it is, the Our Healthy Homes. And then you go to the events tab and then you see this share button. If you hit this share button and you hit the website event link, you can click and highlight that and control C or copy or however you do that. And then when you send them the link to the specific event, this is all they see. They don't have to go, um, they don't have to go, what happened?
all the way around through the website.
Right. They don't have to come here and then like, oh God, I got to do something else. What? Okay.
Right.
So then I go to the events, right? So that's when you want to share each specific link so that when it takes them to it, it takes them to this link, right? So like this weekend, you could call up some people and you could say, hey, you know, it's a scrapbooking weekend, come and go as you want. But you know, you could do any project. If you knit, if you make jewelry, like whatever you want. It's just a fun opportunity for some ladies to get together to get some projects done. If you want to come get your Christmas presents wrapped, right? She's going to even wrap your gifts, right? So, so when you go to the site, you can see all these events, but you have to go back to them because I change it all the time. So there just happens to be a sound bath. This is a friend of mine that's doing this. So this is another idea. Do you know anybody that does sound baths? Do you know anybody that does yoga that you could, do something with, right? And we'll help you through that. And then also there is an actual raindrop class coming up. So this is a pickleball weekend again. Now here it's a pet safety class, and that's a Zoom, Peggy or Debbie. So that's a Zoom. And the bingo's a Zoom, right? So everybody, likes bingo. And then the soup and sing is coming up. So here's the raindrop. That's January 19th. So just like I said, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's so important that you figure out what your days are that you could put X amount of time into your business, and then we figure out what your business plan is going to be. And for all the people that are watching this on the recording, it has to be like that. Whether you're reaching out to Debbie, there's structure, there's accountability, and you're not going to have the success if you don't have the mentor and the somebody to help you. It just isn't going to happen.
And I do have to say, a phone call is
Yes.
1,000 times better than an
Yes.
email or a text.
Yes.
Personally, phone call is the way to go. Text second, emails, they're okay. But if you really want people to come, I call it dialing for dollars.
Yeah.
I just pick up the phone and spend that 15 minutes. You go through that list of your water ladies and say, "Hey Betty, how's it going? I'm doing a make and take on Thursday at 6 o'clock or whenever you can. I would love for you to come, even if she's not doesn't answer. Or I want to invite you to an event. Give me a call. It's going to be or a class. I want to invite you to something. It's going to be really fun. I want to invite you."
And they want to hear that excitement in your voice.
Yeah.
Right? They need to hear that
Yes.
excitement in your voice, and you
Yes.
need to be excited about
Yeah.
it.
I'm so excited. I want to invite you to this thing I'm doing. It can just be this thing I'm doing. I want to invite you. You're going to love it. It's going to be so much fun. Call me. I'll give you the deets. And if they
Okay,
answer the
no
phone,
problem.
"Hey, how's it going, Betty? What's going on?" Blah, blah, blah. So I want to invite you to this thing, and then you can go into it. So if you pick up the phone, I am telling you, you're going to get a lot more people to come than if you don't pick up the phone.
Yep.
I can't
Okay.
tell you what, and I have never had anybody mad at me or tell me not to call them or hang up, or I have never had a negative phone call ever. They've always been, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to hear from you. I've been thinking about you. Oh, I've been meant to call you," or, "Oh, that sounds fun." I have never, ever, ever had anybody be mean or mad that I called, ever. So
Okay.
that is, to me, the phone call blows everything else away. I also hand out thieves cleaner like it's freaking candy. But when I hand
Okay.
it out, you gotta get their information. That's my biggest downfall is I give the stuff out and I don't get their info. So I'm getting a lot better at that, but that's huge. I cannot tell you how many people fall in love with thieves cleaner. And
Mm-hmm.
my make and take, instead of saying I'm doing a class, I still go through that whole kit like I did tonight with you guys, but I do a make and take with it. And I personally, I pick two things because then I'm going to have, based on the holiday, like I'm going to do like if I was doing a live event, I'd do probably a Christmas spirit roll on and a evergreen spray. So I would have two or three Christmas spirits and two or three evergreens. So not everybody's waiting for one bottle if I have 10
Right.
people and definitely need help. You definitely need at least one more person with you if you're doing a make and take. You totally need people for guidance. And people love food. They love food. I make my
Yep.
popcorn. Say I'm
Yep. I
serving,
make the thieves
these
popcorn
popcorn.
and the luscious lemon power meal balls, and the recipe is in their envelope with them. And what are they going to do if they love those luscious lemon power meal balls? You know what? They're going to have to order the Young Living Power Meal, and
Yeah.
they're going to have to order the lemon oil that goes in them.
I need
want the things
the
popcorn,
recipes.
you're
I
gonna have
just
to.
got my protein power. Is that what you make them with? Protein
Yeah,
powder?
the vegan power meal.
Oh, I just bought the protein powder, vanilla protein powder.
Yeah, I buy the vegan power meal.
Okay. But send me that. I'd love the recipe.
Okay.
I just got it in the mail again today.
Okay.
Balls are
Yeah, but
good.
I mean, to me, that those are like really, really, really important things. And when I do the make and take, like I said, I charge ahead of time so that I get a commitment. And I'm charging $10 and
And
they're
I don't know if that's a Florida thing and a Minnesota thing, that it just, people are just like, oh,
I don't
I
know.
don't know what it is, but I get it, right? So either way, they charge, right? Uh,
Hmm.
and whatever you're doing,
Mhm.
whatever's coming up next, I mean, I have had a lot of success through my Facebook lives.
Hmm.
This is coming up, this is coming up, this is coming up. Look at this,
Yep.
I set it up days ahead of time. Here, look at this. Um,
Yep.
my make and take, I got 3 people I don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's big. So do you
anyway,
charge for make and take?
for per item. So they
Okay.
have a price sheet, and
Oh,
so if you want to make this spray, it's this much. If you want to make these roller balls, it's this much. Because like
oh,
one gal made 10 chill outs, right?
wow.
So, they were $5 a piece. My immune roller ballers were $10 a piece.
All right.
And
I
so
like
they
that
got to pick
idea.
and choose what they wanted to make and a single price. So,
Right.
they were making, one gal was making 10 stocking stuffers and she wanted them to all be, give the same thing. So,
I love your list. So how do you get them? Do you like have them prepay or?
nope, I have them, register on my site. So I know,
Okay.
but with an open house, like this one was an open house. So an open
Okay.
house, I didn't have anybody register or anything. It's open house style, come and go as you please, like whatever. And I mean, but I pushed that a lot. I mean, like I was Facebook Live, I swear almost every
Right.
day about the event coming up and the event coming up. And I did
Right.
put it, in an email and, get some affordable gifts and, things like that. And the soup one was a really good turnout, but I put a lot of effort into inviting.
Yeah,
And that
inviting
was
someone.
90, I mean, it's 90% inviting. And I spent a lot of time inviting people on that one,
Hmm.
calling, mailing, all the things.
Hmm.
And Allie, I don't know if you could get, your swims and all your people's, mailing address. Some people still like to
Oh,
get, invitations in the mail and,
I
things
can
like,
ask for all that information. Yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
just haven't, but yeah, I
yeah.
can ask for that or at
So,
will.
yeah, everybody does it different. There's no right or wrong way. The point is,
Oh,
is that you have to figure out which way is your way and make yourself a business plan of how many days a week, how many hours in a day, or whatever it is that you're going to contribute to that business, and you got to stick to it because it's a job.
Um,
We show up on time for anything we need to punch in on or whatever. Yep. Well, I hope this was helpful.
very helpful. Thank you.
battery's gonna die.
Okay.
Oh,
All
no.
right. So
I
you've
know,
got the
Peggy.
recording.
Yes,
Okay.
so
It might
I
have
won't
been,
stop. We've been
the
recording
last
forever.
what?
We're still recording. So thank you everybody for coming this evening. And we hope you enjoy and learn from our little chat this evening. And I definitely see like I have to redo that because I kept saying and her and her and her. And
Yes.
it's like really
Right.
me. It was me.
But at least there's something there.
Yes,
So
there's
you'll
something
send me
there.
the recording.
Yes,
Okay. All
absolutely.
right. And
So
Allie,
I'm
you're going to reach
hanging
out
up.
to
I'm
me
ending the recording.
and
Oh,
we're going to
he's
get
ending the meeting. So,
okay.
all right. Hopefully it recorded. Yes, it's still recording. Let's
Okay.
see.
And then
All
Allie,
right.
reach out to me and we'll get a plan.
All right.
Okay.